Namaskar. Welcome to another episode of Editorial. Yesterday, the Delhi Service Bill got passed in the Rajya Sabha. The Delhi Service Bill, which is formally known as the Government of National Capital Territory of Delhi Amendment Bill 2023, got passed. Very interestingly, former Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh was there to vote possibly against this bill in Rajya Sabha. He was there in a wheelchair. Okay, now let's try and understand what this Government of National Capital Territory of Delhi Amendment Bill 2023 is all about. Let us look at the positive and the negative aspect of it. Then you decide whether this bill is right or wrong. Let's get right into the show. Delhi was a union territory. Now, from union territory, it was given partial statehood. So, before I get into the bill and what the bill is all about, which is not very complicated, it is a very simple way, and we'll always, as usual, explain in a very simple way. Let us first try and understand what a union territory is in India. Unlike the states of India, which have their own government, union territories are federal territories administered by the Union Government of India. In UTs, the central government appoints the Lieutenant Governor, who is the administrator and the representative of the President of India. However, there are exceptions given to Puducherry and Delhi. They have elected legislative governments and they are granted partial statehood under the special constitutional amendment. Currently, India has 8 union territories, which includes Delhi, Andaman and Nicobar, Chandigarh, Dadra and Nagar Haveli, Daman and Diu, Jammu and Kashmir, Ladakh, Lakshadweep and Puducherry. So we understood what is union territory. Union territory are territories which are controlled by the central government. Delhi is partially controlled by the, supposedly to be partially controlled by the central government. So is Puducherry. Okay. Now, why do you necessarily have a union territory? Let's get into that. See, there are various reasons for formation of union territory, included such territories being too small to be independent or too different economically, culturally and geographically to be merged with the surrounding states, or financially very weak or politically very unstable. These are the reasons why you have union territory. So they couldn't survive as a separate administrative unit and needed to be administered by the union government. Some were made union territories given the location or the special status. Okay, I will try and explain this. You see, if a state is if a territory is too small to be a state, too small to be a state, or too unstable to be a state, or too strategically located in such places where it is important that the union government keeps an eye on that particular territory. In such cases, or it is different to any of the states that it can align with, these territories are seen as union territories, UTs as they call. Okay, so that's why the government, the central government, the union government takes care of the administration directly. So there is a lieutenant governor and the lieutenant governor here reports to the President of India. That is what it is said. So he technically reports to the union government. This is what it happens. So now we understood what is union territories. Now we understood why do we have union territories. ठीक है, इसको side में रखते हैं. Now let's get into what is this Delhi Service Bill or the Government of National Capital Territory of Delhi Amendment Bill 2023. According to the government order, in view of its special status as national capital, a scheme of administration has to be formulated by law to balance both local and national democratic interest, which are at stake, which would reflect the aspiration of the people through joint and collective responsibility of both the governments of India and the government of National Capital Territory of Delhi, that is GNCTD. This is what the government says. See, what the government is saying is that, Baba, listen, what is Delhi? Delhi is the national capital. National capital, matlab, it is going to affect the larger democratic scope of the country. So Delhi is important for the larger democratic scope of the country because it is the national capital of the country. So since it's a national capital of the country, there has to be a balance of power between the local government and the central government. The central government has to have enough power to ensure that nothing goes wrong in Delhi. Because something goes wrong in Delhi, something goes wrong in the country. Correct. This is what the government says. It further went on to add that a permanent authority headed by the Delhi Chief Minister is introduced to make recommendation to the Lieutenant Governor regarding matters concerning transfer, posting, vigilance and other incidental matters. This is where the problem starts. Now, let us understand the problem in a simple way. See, क्या होता है कि Chief Minister technically is not the person who runs the country, who actually executes the decisions, policies. It's not the Chief Minister. It is the Chief Secretary and his team, bureaucracy, which is Chief Secretary, Additional Chief Secretary, so on and so forth. These are the people who actually executes the policies of the government. Now, what the union government is saying that, listen, you know what? ये जो secretaries are secretaries, those IAS officers, those administrators, that the state government will not control, Baba. The state government under the chief ministership will advise the lieutenant governor to transfer, vigilance, promotion, etc., etc., etc. So the advisor here becomes the chief minister. The chief minister can go and recommend to the lieutenant governor that, Baba, listen, ye aadmi ko na thoda transfer karo. This man no is not listening to me, is not doing my job, so please transfer him. Or this man no is very good at it, so kindly transfer him to this particular department because I want him with me. This is what the government is saying. Acha, now who appoints the lieutenant governor? The union government appoints the lieutenant governor. Who does the lieutenant governor report to? Technically, the lieutenant governor reports to the President of India. Technically, President of India, but actually the government of India, the union government of India. So, lieutenant governor is the person who finally takes all the calls as far as transfers, promotions, vigilance, वगैरह is concerned for the administrative staff. So now what the government is saying? Government is saying, Baba, listen, you have larger democratic interest of the country. Delhi is the capital of the country. For the larger democratic interest of the country, we need to have some kind of control in Delhi. ऐसा थोड़ी है कि we'll just let it go. फिर union government बैठ के हम क्या कर रहे हैं यहाँ पर? What are we doing here as union government? We have to have some kind of control in Delhi because that will affect the country. This is what the union government says. Now, let us look at it from Arvind Kejriwal's point of view, the CM of Delhi's point of view. The CM of Delhi fights elections. Okay, goes to people, gets their mandate and says that I will govern Delhi. I will give you a better Delhi. This is what the CM says. Now, like I told you before my editorial, for a CM, for him to implement his policies, he has to depend on his secretaries. When I say secretaries, I mean IAS officers, administrative officers. He has to depend on them. If the CM says, Baba, ye karo, the administrative officer said time nahi hai, that's it. That will not happen. If the CM says that, listen, you know what, I need this done in 24 hours, administrative officer says, chodo yaar, we'll talk after 1 month. CM, if he doesn't have the power to transfer that administrative officer, suspend that administrative officer, book that administrative officer, CM is what power then? The administrative officer, for him, the CM does not matter anymore. Why? Because his promotion is done by the LG, his transfer done by the LG, his vigilance and other things, if at all corruption and all, done by the LG. Who can suspend him? The LG can suspend him. So, technically speaking, the Chief Minister of Delhi cannot harm him. Cannot do anything to him. Like me and you, when we go to these government offices and we fall at their feet of this administrative officer saying that, sir, please कर दो, मैं टैक्स का पैसा देता हूँ, सब देता हूँ, फिर भी आप भगवान हो, मेरा काम कर दो, please do my work, you are God. The way we do it, the Chief Minister will also have to do it. What difference? Administrative Secretary will say, forget it यार, हमको क्या है, who is he to come and command me? कुछ कर तो नहीं सकते. Okay. I have not once but several times told you When I spoke about police, that the reason why police crawl when they are asked to bend by these political masters is because ultimately everything about police is controlled by them. If you don't listen to your political masters, they will transfer you to a corner where the nearest water supply is 1500 kilometers. They will transfer you there. If you don't listen to these political masters, they will ensure that you never get an executive position. You will be in position where there is no job. You will be just sitting there. If you don't listen to these political masters, your promotion and all, it will take its own sweet time. So the police has no other option but to listen to the political masters. So what is the power? The power of making police listen to the political master are these promotions, transfers, suspension and all that. You take it away. This is what Arvind Kejriwal is saying. Arvind Kejriwal says, Baba, you are taking this away from me. How am I going to serve my people who voted me to power? That is his argument. Now, the Home Minister, the Indian Home Minister says that the power lies with the central government to make laws for union territories. And since Delhi is a union territory, the center has full rights to make the rules for it as well. The Union Home Minister says, why are you different? You are partial statehood, but you are a union territory, no? The center has the rights to make rules for you. Period. End of story. Why are you different? Is what the Union Minister asks. This is where it stands. This is where it stands. Now let's come to opposition. What opposition is saying? Opposition leaders like Shashi Tharoor says that blatant subversion of constitutional separation of power is happening through this bill. He added that the country is now seeing coercive federalism. Coercive federalism matlab they are forcing their power onto places like New Delhi. A lot of experts says that you see what happens is Arvind Kejriwal won first time in 2015 with a massive margin. He won before that also, but 2015 with a massive margin. He didn't need any support and all that. Massive margin. He won again in 2020 with a massive margin, equally massive margin. Somewhere down the line, people started saying that this Arvind Kejriwal you may not be able to remove Arvind Kejriwal out of Delhi because he's got Delhi in his grip. Chances are the third time, that is 2025, he may win Delhi again. That is what people say. Acha, last time around what happened was 7 MP seats, 7 Lok Sabha seats of Delhi was swept by Bharatiya Janata Party. A lot of political experts say that, Baba, this time around, no, those 7 seats may be difficult for Bharatiya Janata Party. So, unless and until something is done about Delhi, that 7 seats may not go to Bharatiya Janata Party. AAP may take those 7 seats, or maybe even Congress may get 1 or 2 of those 7 seats. So, this was very important. See, every seat is important when it comes to 2024 Lok Sabha election. So, it was very necessary for the Bharatiya Janata Party, this is what experts say, that it was very necessary for Bharatiya Janata Party to have its grip over Delhi, have its tight grip over Delhi, so that though they couldn't win the election, they couldn't get the mandate of the people, at least they have the power to ensure that they control and they ensure that they get seats in the 2024 Lok Sabha elections from Delhi. This was what it is. Why? People say, dekho Maharashtra mein kya hua? Maharashtra also was same, no? They wanted to come into Maharashtra. They didn't become the chief minister. Devendra Fadnavis didn't become the chief minister. They gave the chief minister away to Eknath Shinde. In the future, they say that the chief ministership may go to Mr. Ajit Pawar once Sharad Pawar makes up his mind and possibly joins or whatever. It may go to Ajit Pawar. They don't want to be the chief minister. Then why Maharashtra? Why was Maharashtra so important? Why did they break Shiv Sena? Because Maharashtra was important, because if Mahavikas Aghadi became powerful in Maharashtra, chances are that Bharatiya Janata Party, which won 41 plus 1 seat, that is 1 independent seats, 42 seats out of 48 seats in Maharashtra, that same performance they may not be able to repeat, which means that -1 hai yahan se bhi. So that's why it is important for Bharatiya Janata Party to have good grip over these states. This is what people say. Now, it is up to you to decide. At one end, the government says that national capital can affect the entire country, the entire democracy. So, control over national capital is very important for the union government. control over the administrative staff of the national capital is very important for the union government. Having an LG and having a powerful LG in the national capital is very important for the union government. This is what the union government says. The state government says that you take away my administrative staff, you take away every power, then I don't have home, police is yours, administrative staff is also now yours. फिर हमको क्यों बिठाया इधर? What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to serve? How am I supposed to get work out of these administrative officers? This is what the Delhi government asks. This is where it stands. You decide what is right and what is wrong. Till I see you next time, that is tomorrow at 10 o'clock. Namaskar.